Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. I'd like to introduce you to Fresno Police Sergeant Donnie Donnell, who a few days ago conducted a traffic stop where he stole fentanyl-laced meth from a woman, then used the drugs while still on duty and wrecked his patrol car while high. If it weren't for fellow officers arriving and administering Narcan, he likely would have died from his heroic actions. No doubt that if the hero had died from his actions, there would have been a massive funeral procession, tens of thousands of dollars spent, and freeways closed down while they honor the hero. 911 operators got a call that a police car was driving erratically.
An officer crashed into a field. An officer possibly not responding.
When they arrived, they found that the police car had jumped the curb and smashed into a tree, disabling the car. When something like this happens with a civilian, they automatically assume the worst, DWI. But in this case, since it was a police officer, they assumed it must be some type of medical emergency, most likely a heart attack. After realizing that the previous call he had been on involved drugs, they assumed that he accidentally came into contact with fentanyl and delivered Narcan. A toxicology report showed that the sergeant had meth and fentanyl in his system. A toxicologist said that there was way too much in his system for it to have been unintentional, and it had to be intentional use. Police found the fentanyl-laced methamphetamines in his patrol car. They found that his previous call had been closed as unfounded. Police contacted the woman that he interacted with and asked her what happened. She said that Donnell told her to give him the drugs and he would just let her go. His wife, who retired from the Fresno Sheriff's Department, told investigators that a year prior she had found meth in his clothes. She told him to go to rehab, but it appears that he did not. At this time, it's unknown if Sergeant Donnell ever paid for his own meth or if he always stole it. The Fresno County DA filed charges for robbery, drug possession, and DUI. The DA claims that Donnell would be treated the same as any other accused criminal, but he was allowed to post his $31,000 bond without ever actually being booked into a jail like any other accused criminal would be. I would assume they wouldn't book him into the regular jail for his own safety, because who knows how many people are in there that he's previously stolen meth from. But it seems that the Fresno Police Department gets into hot water with drugs fairly often. Back in 2015, the deputy chief, second in command at the department, was arrested on a federal drug conspiracy by the FBI and ATF for distributing and possessing OxyContin, marijuana, and heroin. It's unknown if the drugs that the Fresno Police Department was selling were also stolen. Sergeant Donnell is on administrative leave, but the chief claims that he's working on the termination process now. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like the case in Florida, where the officer drove to work drunk, was terminated, and then the Fraternal Order of Police stepped in to get his job back.
And if you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the pot on our police officers.